Hey there, I'm Stefanie Flaxman. I've been a writer and editor for 20 years, and I have more than 200 videos on YouTube that help you live and work like a writer. That is a lot of videos, so let me curate my best advice for you. You can sign up for free exclusive updates at stefanieflaxman.com. I'll send you my top tips for new writers, plus other advice that works best in email rather than audio or video. It would be my pleasure to meet you at your inbox as your new writer consultant. Ready to join the club? Go to stefanieflaxman.com to sign up for free. And remember, I spell Stefanie with an F, not a PH. The proper spelling is on your screen right now. That is stefanieflaxman.com. I'll see you there. Happy Thursday if you are listening in real time, and if you are not listening in real time but would like to, just subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell. I publish new podcast episodes every weekday. Why is it popular to be lazy and unoriginal? And you might say to that, well, Stefanie, it is not popular to be lazy and unoriginal. I don't know what you mean by that. All I see online is people talking about productivity and you have to do this and you have to do that and wake up at 5 a.m. and do, go. That is what is popular, Stefanie. I don't know what you're talking about when you say that it is popular to be lazy and unoriginal. But I'm seeing things quite differently amidst all of the productivity advice out there and all of the encouraging, you can do it, you can be a content creator, you can be a writer, you can make your space in the online world and achieve all these things that you want. Amidst all of that, I'm seeing advice that is an absolute insult to traditional journalism and traditional writing. So amidst all of the content creators out there that are telling you that you should also be creating content, I have to look at these people because I have to be aware of what else is out there and other people who are giving advice and just what the environment is online. So I have to do research with other channels that are similar to mine on YouTube. And I see a lot of the same stuff. I see a lot of the same advice given that is very general about what you need to do to make it as a content creator today. And you can do it. They are so encouraging. They have hundreds and thousands of followers on YouTube, and they're saying, you can do it too. Just follow my advice. Just follow this general path. And they usually want you to take one of their courses as well. But they all look the same. I mean, there's so much creator advice out there that is so general. It's not specific to anyone's individual circumstances. And it's all making these sweeping generalizations. Almost I would equate it to the word that I do not like that I talked about in an episode recently, which is formula. They're giving you all this formulaic stuff that is so not specific to whatever you are actually going through and what you actually need to move forward. So amongst this advice of you can be a content creator too, there is this sort of easygoing notion that you're not writing for an English professor. The internet in 2023, the internet in present day is not the same as writing for an English class. So don't get bogged down with perfectionism. And I talk a lot about not getting bogged down with perfectionism, but this is dangerous advice when someone is telling you that it really doesn't matter anymore and that you can just write whatever you want to write and create things on social media platforms for the sake of doing what you need to do and not having a level of quality control. Now, they don't actually say that, but when they're saying, hey, you don't need to write to the standards of an English class or you're not writing for an English professor, it is a slippery slope to sloppy writing and sloppy content, which ends up being unoriginal work that just contributes to piles of more of the same status quo, more of the same junk online. So these content creators that want you to be content creators too are opening the door for you to create more junk, because they are advising that you don't need to be careful about your work because the world is so fast paced and we just have to produce to gain momentum online. And, they're saying this is the current world we live in. Because again, they're not explicitly saying do sloppy work, but they're saying we live in this fast-paced world where everybody is looking for the next best thing and no one has attention spans anymore. So you just have to do your content and put it out there. But what is so short-sighted about that, and what is so, dare I say, uneducated about that, is that within traditional journalism, there has always been tight deadlines, whether you're writing for a magazine, a newspaper, any sort of publication was constantly doing heavily creative work, which is reporting information, facts, balanced with original voices, original angles, original perspectives. Think of the show 60 Minutes, if you know the show 60 Minutes. That was always investigative, tough journalism who with reporting on what was actually happening, but from unique perspectives and unique voices. I think I should do a separate episode about the 60 Minutes content model. But going back to my point, is that there have always been tight deadlines, and there have always been real journalism standards, real editorial standards, so that you don't produce sloppy work that ends up contributing to piles of junk out there. So what does this mean for you? I think that we all could spend more time reviewing our work before we publish it and not give in to the, oh, no one cares about grammar and spelling and professionalism anymore. Just do your content. I'm generalizing with that advice, but it's not hard to see that the days of traditional journalism are not what people are holding. They're not the standard that people are holding themselves up to online anymore. So take the time to review your content well before you publish it. I would say that on tight deadlines, you still have an opportunity to review your work up to 5 times. I am not a fan of multitasking, but I realize something that I do on short deadlines is get a draft written of something that I write. I go do other work. And if the deadline is within a day or two, you go back to that draft that you've written 5 times, making sure that you've taken at least an hour break in between reviewing that draft. Because when you are away from your drafts, you have time to not only go back to the draft with fresh eyes and spot errors, you've also had time away from what you're working on to push your ideas further, to come up with new ways to say things so that your work is more original, so that it is more creative, and it's ultimately more meaningful for the audience that you're serving. So you can have tight deadlines and make sure that you publish your writing and your content consistently, but still have a thorough review process to make sure that you're not just doing the same thing over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over again for the sake of, I just got to put my content out there. Let me know in the comments how you review your content before it is published, your processes for reviewing your writing, as well as any examples that you might. I don't like pointing out specific people. That's why when I criticize things, I tend to speak very generally. But if you have noticed how traditional journalism standards have gone away, and for no reason, let me know. If you don't want to give an example or a comment, just give this video a thumbs up, because I just think It is so silly that we say that this is a brave, no, that's not a good example, that this is such a fast-paced world that we can't do these things of years past, when in years past there have always been tight deadlines, and there's always been the need to do original, not lazy work under tight deadlines. That is it for today. If you'd like to get exclusive tips that I only share in email, go on over to stefanieflaxman.com and sign up for free. I will see you there and talk with you soon.